Hi guys, today I'm here to do my May book haul, and if you've seen my last book haul, I mentioned that my next book haul will be probably a lot shorter because I normally don't have a big book haul like I did last month. But things happened and I actually do have, at least for me, a large book haul. I got 12 new books. Let's get started. So first, let's get the obvious thing out of the way. I got A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J Maas. This is the third book in the Court of Thorns and Roses series. I have not read this book yet. I feel really bad because normally I basically read Sarah J Maas books straight away, but I have been very busy this month and I just really want to be able to sit and relax and marathon this book, so that's the reason why I've been waiting for this. My summer vacation will start in 2.5 weeks, so I might just save it for then. But I'm very excited to read it. I read the first book, loved it, read the second book, loved it, and I really hope that I will love this one as much as everyone else seems to. If you don't know what the series is about, it's about a girl named Feyre, and in this world she's living in, you have the human side of the land and you have the big wall, and above it you have fairyland, and one day she accidentally kills a fairy, which means that she has a choice. Either she gets killed now, or she will cross the wall and live with the fairies for the rest of her life. She does the second thing and things happen. I also got one book from a publisher. I got The Dragons of Nova by Elise Cover from Keymaster Press. I've already read this book and I will be uploading a review around the release date, which is the 11th of July. And this series, this is the second book, by the way. The first book is The Alchemist of Loom. I've already done a review, so I'll leave that up here. But the series is about this world called Loom, where the people are living, and a couple of years ago they discovered that above Loom, above the clouds, is a second world called Nova, which is where the dragons are living. The dragons came down, they changed a lot of things on Loom, and not everyone is happy about this, especially Ariana, who is our main character in this series. She is in fact very pissed off because of the changes that happened, and so she's fighting against the dragons. She is being a pain in the ass to them, and then one day she accidentally finds a dragon, and because of reasons they need to work together for the same cause actually. So I really enjoyed the first book. If you want to know more, you can just check out my review, and like I said, this review will be up around the 11th of July. Now the next couple of books I did not buy. There was actually a trade-in day at a bookshop, and I was going to go there together with Rebecca over Medoc, Rebecca and Veronica from Story Island, and Veronica and I both had books that we want to get rid of, and then I figured, you know what, maybe Veronica wants some of my books. So I sent her a pic, and then she sent me some pics of the books that she was getting rid of, and then we were like, okay, we both want some books of each other, and so we decided, you know what, we are just going to switch books, because we both had, I think, 6 or 7 books that we wanted of each other, and so we just went like that. So the first book that I got from her is Angel Dares by Joss Sterling. This is the 5th book in the Benedict series. This series is all about savants, who are people with a special type of power, and around the time that they are conceived, another savant is also conceived, and this savant is their soul finder, their perfect soulmate, and when they meet, they will be able to use their powers in a whole different way. Basically, they will be a better person and a stronger savant if they join together with their soul finder. The first 3 books follow a brother from the Benedict family. There are 7 brothers total, and the next 3 books in this series follow a random girl who is friends with the Benedict family or in another way connected to them, and they are finding the soul finder together with the Benedicts, while one of the brothers actually finds his soul finder. So this book follows Angel, and Angel is a musician. She goes to this festival where supposedly the soul finder of Will Benedict is being, and so she tries to find this woman, but at the same time she also finds out that this really awesome musician with a very bad personality might just be her soul finder. She's not sure, because apparently this boy doesn't even know that he's a savant and that he has any power. I have already read this. I quite enjoyed it. I've only got one more book to go and then I'm done with this series, so we'll be definitely talking about the rest of it hopefully sometime soon, because it's quite good, guys. Next up, I've got a complete trilogy. I don't know the order of these books though, so I've got The Gathering, The Calling and The Rising by Kelly Armstrong. This is, I think, a spin-off series of the Darkest Powers series by the same author that I absolutely loved, which is why I really wanted to get these books, and especially this cover. So when Veronica showed me that she wanted to get rid of these in the right edition, I knew that I had to grab my chance. So I'm probably going to be reading them sometime very soon because, like I said, I love the Darkest Power series. Darkest Power series is about a girl who is going to this kind of house for troubled teens. And it turns out that she's not just a troubled teen, she's just a necromancer. And she's there to get over ghosts and a werewolf and a magician and, you know, normal cool stuff. So it's really cool. And I believe that also the Woman of the Otherworld series by this author is actually taking place in the same world, but it's an adult version. And I quite enjoyed the first book. I have not read the rest of them, but I just really want to find out more about this world because I really enjoyed it. So this trilogy is definitely going to help me with that. Next is The Archive by Victoria Schwab. This is the first book of Victoria that I'm actually touching. I have not read any book by this author. I'm totally intrigued by it. Everybody seems to love all of her books, and I really wanted to read something by her, just didn't know really where to start. And then Veronica was getting rid of this one, so you know, perfect place to start. I believe this series is about a girl who works in this archive, which is about memories, and sometimes these memories come to life or ghosts and she needs to stop them. I think it's something like that. I don't know exactly. I think I'm just going to go in with just thinking that, and we'll see where it goes. And next is A Glass Sword by Victoria Aveyard. This is the second book in the Red Queen series. I've read Red Queen a couple of years ago. I actually got it from one of my friends right after my dad passed away to kind of like spend the time doing something else and just, you know, thinking about things. And I really enjoyed the book, though I've heard a lot of people saying that they really didn't like the first book or the second one or the third one. So I don't know if it's just me or maybe it was just a situation and the time, which is why I was enjoying it, but I really enjoyed it. So I wanted to get the second book because I do want to continue on with it. And if you don't know, this series is a fantasy series about a world where you have people with either silver or red blood. The red bloods are just normal humans. The silver blooded ones are the ones who are ruling the red ones, and they have special powers. And in the first book we have this girl who is a red blood but actually also has powers that are more connected to a silver blood. So, you know, chaos and cool stuff. So I'm excited to read this one. I can actually very well remember what happened at the first one, which is a bit of a surprise because it has been over 2 years since I read that one. So I'm excited to see where the rest goes, and I'm also very anxious and excited and kind of nervous to see if I will like this or hate this, as the rest of the people on Booktube seem to do. Next up are two books that I actually bought myself, or I actually didn't really have to pay any money for them. When I went to the trade-in day at the store, even though I gave those books to Veronica, I think I gave her 6 or 7, I still had so many other books that I wanted to get rid of. So I got some store credit and I spent that on these two books. I got Pantomime and Masquerade by Laura Lamb. This is book 1, this is book 3. You might be wondering, why didn't you get book 2? They did have book 2, but the thing is that book 1 and 3 were signed and book 2 wasn't, so I wanted to get a signed book. I have no clue exactly what this series is about. I know that it is also known as the Micah Gray series. I'm guessing our main character is called Micah Gray. I also think, and I'm actually relatively sure about this, is that it's taking place in a carnival or something with people with magic. I just really love the cover. I read the back in the bookstore. It sounded cool. It was signed. I needed no more motivation to pick these two up, and I just really love the look, and I will be getting the second book sometime soon so that I can marathon this series. And then finally I've got two books that I got as an early birthday present from Rebecca. The last day that she was in the Netherlands, we went to Amsterdam and I showed her some of my favorite bookshops, and while there I saw some books that I really wanted, and so she gave them to me because she told me that after this trip she wouldn't really be able to send me any books for my birthday, so better just give them straight away. So the first one that she got me was All Murder Considered as One of the Fine Arts by Thomas de Quincey. I've already read this one. This is a newspaper article, fictional obviously, about a gentleman club who looks at murders and kind of appreciates it as a fine art. So the setting, the mood, the weapon, it's not like they love murders, it's not like they want people to be murdered, but they can appreciate the way that it is done apparently. And the other book is Three Dark Crowns by Kenora Blake. I was sitting in a bookshop, Rebecca was walking around, I was just chilling, I got this one, I read the first chapter and I was just hooked. And so she gave me this one. I'm very excited about it. I freaking loved Kenora Blake's other series, which is Anna Dressed in Blood. and I really want to read this one, and how I got it, and I haven't even read it yet. I was just so busy last month and I didn't got around to it, but I will definitely try to do that sometime soon, because I think that the second book, and it's going to be, I think, a duology, will be coming out later this year, so I definitely want to finish this one and then pick up the next book. But this book is about three sisters. They're all princesses in this kingdom. There's always a set of triplets being born, and then when they grow up, they all develop their own power, and when they get 16, they need to fight each other. 2 need to die, and then the third one will become the next queen. And so in this series, you have one sister who can use fire or elements, another one who can do stuff with poisons, and one more who can do stuff with plants, I think. And I also heard, I'm not sure if I've heard it correctly, but I heard that 2 of the sisters don't really have any powers and the third one does. So I'm excited to find out if I'm right or not. I don't care. I'm excited because, like I said, I just really enjoyed her other books. So yay, thank you, Rebecca. And this was my May book haul. I am, in fact, 100% sure that my next book haul is going to be a small regular book haul, like 3 or 4 books. Because next month, in 2.5 weeks, or 2 weeks, I don't know exactly when this video is coming up, but basically in a couple of weeks I will be having 2 cats, and I think that they will be requiring all my time and all my money and all my love and attention, so there's no sense in buying a ton of books. So yeah, this is quite a big book haul for me, and maybe in July I will have a bigger book haul again, because that's actually my birthday month. But the next one is definitely going to be a smaller one. If you've read any of the books that I just showed you, please let me know in the comment section down below. Did you like them? Did you not like them? And if you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. I hope to see you with the next one. Goodbye guys, have a great day.